What's up, y'all? I'm out here at the range, as you can see behind me, on this cold, sunny day. The temperature was actually freezing when I got out here this morning, but now it's moved on up there. I think we about in the mid 40s or something right now. I had to pull my jacket off even. I got a feeling though I'm about to have to put it back on, because here in probably 15, 20 minutes at the most, that old pine tree is gonna be blocking my sun, and unfortunately the doggone wind's picking up, so I got to get a move on with this one for sure. But luckily I've gotten a couple things done out here already today, so I'm gonna end it off with a little 357 SIG test. So we got the jelly contraption ready to go for one more test with a couple of chronos and 2 blocks of gel. Now again, I've done a couple of tests, but I managed to keep this one all the way to the back, so plenty of room here. This is probably gonna sneak up here into this one. There's a little bit of a straggler, but other than that, there should be plenty of room. Of course, I've got my heavy clothing barrier on the front. It's got the layer of denim, fleece, and 2 layers of cotton t-shirt. And what we got for this one here is some more of that old Sellier and Bellot. This time, like I said, it's 357 SIG. This is 124 grain JHP, so 124 grain, I'm imagining it's just the same projectile they use in their 9mm, just loaded here into the 357 SIG case. Now y'all know we hadn't had the best luck with this stuff recently, the S&B just JHP lead stuff. Their copper extra-G rounds seem to be pretty decent across the board, but these lead ones are definitely hit or miss. Here's a look at your cartridge, that neck down brass 357 SIG case, projectile, just a very, very basic looking HP, really small opening on it, so this stuff really needs to be moving on to get some good performance from it. And speaking of that, they're claiming 476 feet per second at the muzzle. That's from a 5-inch test barrel, so I'm a little bit shorter on both my barrels out here today. 1476, I seriously doubt we're gonna hit that out of what I got out here today. I seriously doubt we'd even hit it out of a 5-inch, just based on the S&B I've tested in the past. If we do hit that, you're looking around 600 foot-pounds, so that would be nice. Again, I don't expect to hit that. Now, for example, just to give you an example of something else, this Federal HST right here, this stuff claims 1360 from the muzzle, but with my testing of it through the G31 I'm using out here today, I got 1432, so well above what they were claiming, and that's out of a 4-inch barrel. So this stuff has really got to be moving on to, I mean, if it hits that velocity, yeah, it'll be better as far as energy than this HST, but I don't think it's going to. And this stuff is way more expensive. This stuff is like 33 bucks a box, where this HST Leo trade stuff, I can get it for 20 bucks. Most people can get it for 25, 29 bucks. So we definitely gonna find out if this S&B is delivering anything extra for that extra price tag. I've got actually a couple different barrels to run it out of this time. I've got my usual G22 with the G31 barrel in it, so 4.5 inch here, and I just picked up a G33 barrel from my local shop yesterday. I went in there actually looking for a Leo trade G33. They didn't have any, but Nathan hooked me up. He just happened to have a 357 SIG G33 barrel sitting back there, so I got that from him. So now we can test the 357 SIG out of a shorty here. Now this is technically a 3.4 inch barrel on it, so this ought to be pretty interesting. I'm not looking for anything spectacular as far as performance, but I hope we at least get somewhere close to what they're claiming. Let's set this stuff up and see what it does. All right, let's find out what we're working with. I'm gonna do a 5-round average from each barrel length, starting with the long one here first. Now remember, this is saying 1476 velocity from the muzzle. You're gonna see multiple readings from this lab radar. The large number is right here at the muzzle, and then you've got 5 across the bottom. The first one there is set for 3 yards, which is roughly where the gel is here at 10 feet. And then I've got the other set for 10, 15, 25, and 50 yards. So 1476, now that's out of a 5-inch barrel, so we definitely ain't gonna see that. I bet we go sub 1400 right here. We should at least be 1400, but I bet we're not. I bet we're under 1400. I was wrong. 1431, 1417, 1422, 1435, and 1440. So that's definitely where we should be with a 4.5 inch barrel. If they're claiming a 5-inch gets to 1476, let's check out the average. All right, so that definitely wasn't as bad as I thought we were going to see. Actually not bad at all. 1429 for a 5-round average right there. We had an extreme spread of 23 with a 9.3 standard deviation, so nice and consistent. Now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure all the S&B has been actually really consistent, if nothing else. So 14 1429 here. We were looking for 1476. That adds up a math just about right as far as a 1/2 inch of barrel lacking. This definitely is not hot mama 357 SIG, but I mean, it's not too terrible. That's going to be under 600 foot-pounds as far as the energy. So I know 357 SIG folks are like me when it comes to 10 mil. I'm sure y'all definitely want more than this, but I'm glad to see that the velocity looks to be pretty honest anyway. But enough about that. Let's reset it and see what the G33 does. All right, let's see what this little 3.4 inch barrel does for it. I'm guessing on this one, I don't know what we see, just 1440 or something we just saw, 1420. We're probably going to drop on down maybe 13. I hope we stay around 1350, but it may be even less than that. Let's just see what we get here. That actually don't feel bad. 1382, that's not bad at all for this little small barrel. This don't feel bad at all out of this shorty either, I'll just tell you. Not nearly as snappy as I was expecting, and I ain't even calling out the numbers. I'm sure y'all can see them. 1335, 1330. And 1350, so not quite as low as I thought, or actually I did say 1350, didn't I? So there we are. Let's check out this average. All right, so that time from the little shorty, we had a 5-round average of 1,344 feet per second. I mean, that's basically a 9 mil weight projectile, so you're looking at plus P plus as far as 9 mil power there, I guess you could call it. We had a 62 extreme spread with a 24 standard deviation, so our spread definitely opened up a little bit there for whatever reason. I mean, 1344 from a little old 3.4 inch barrel, that's really not too bad right there. Now, if you remember on the longer one, it was 1429, so you're talking about, what is that, 85 feet per second difference between them. That sounds about right, a little bit over an inch longer barrel, so 85 feet per second makes sense with this kind of round right here. That being said, I think both of these are going to do a good job in the gel. There's no doubt about it. Personally, I'd like to see a little bit more velocity and energy just because it is a 357 SIG, but I have no doubt these are going to do a good job in the gel. But let's get it all reset, and y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's they might have got one right jelly time. Unfortunately, I just made a goof up and forgot to start my doggone camera, so I already did this jelly time and sent the one from the long barrel into the gel down there. So I'll put the picture-in-picture here. I started all the other cameras but forgot to start my main camera, so I'll put the picture-in-picture here, and then I'll show you the slow-mo what happened with that one. All right, now that I got y'all caught back up, let's send the one through the G33 here. As you can see already, that's looking like some good stuff down there. I figured it probably would just because of the velocity alone. Let's see what happens here with the shorty. All right, that should have been another good one right there. Let me go see what we got. That should have been a good one, but as you can see, it went in perfect and then decided to exit the building early. So I'm gonna try to put another one. This one's gonna be tough to see just because of where these are, but I'll try to move you around. All right, hopefully that's where we can see it. Let's go down there and check these out. All right, let's check out what we got down here, y'all. This is actually pretty good performance, surprisingly, from an S&B lead expanding round. On the top here, that was the one from the longer barrel, the G31. As you can see, it comes in here very, very nice disruption. Now, some of this is tumbling. There's absolutely no doubt about that, but still very, very nice disruption. The energy transfer all the way through this first block. This one pokes into this second block maybe about 1/4 of an inch, and it looks like you actually have some really nice expansion from it also. And then these two down here on the bottom, those are from the G33, the shorter barrel. The one in the front right here, the lowest one, obviously came in here and jumped out the side right there, but they both look nearly identical. The one behind that one is the one we kept. Again, very, very nice disruption and energy transfer all the way through that first block. We did drop a little bit of a piece of jacket I can see right there with this one. It keeps on trucking. This one goes into the second block. probably about 2, maybe 2¼ inches. And once again, from what I can tell, you got some nice looking expansion from it. But as far as your penetration, the one here on the top, yeah, again, it went into the second block 1/4 inch. So 16¼ inches, absolutely beautiful, beautiful penetration and overall performance from that one right there. And then the ones from the G33, that one went out the side, so I'm not even gonna bother. This one right here is out to exactly 18 inches. So once again, perfect penetration right there. And so far, both of these things are really impressive looking. And here's a little closer look so you can see things a little better. Obviously on the top, that was the one from the G31. You can see very, very nice. Look at that expansion right there. Just a little bit into this second block, but you can see what I mean. Definitely some tumbling, plus the round sitting backwards down here. So there's no doubt. Down there at the bottom, both of those are from the G33. You can see again, very, very nice disruption. The one in the front goes out the side right there. The one in the back, you can see that little piece of jacket right there. And there's your projectile again with some really nice expansion. Really hard to see much from the top view, but you can see that right there is from tumbling, no doubt about it. And you can just see how that looks right there. No doubt that one tumbled at least once, but still very, very nice performance from both of these. All right, let's check out these projectiles, y'all. Very, very nice looking expansion. Frag expansion, I guess you could call. Not a whole lot of fragmentation, but there definitely was some. This one right here was from the longer barrel G31, and you can tell, just look at that, the pedals and everything are just folded completely down below the base. And then this one was from the shorter barrel, the G33. You can see the difference right there. Definitely a difference as far as how much lead was expanded, and you can even see you got more of a crater left from the shorter barrel. That being said, both of these things look absolutely fantastic. But let's find out how much material we lost. They both started at 124. This one from the G31 is down to 119.2, so definitely some loss right there. Not a whole lot though. And then this one from the G33 is actually at 120.6, so some loss there also, but really not a whole lot from either one, just considering how fast they're moving and just how much they're mangled up here. And then as far as the sizes, both of these are probably going to be similar but very irregular. This one from the G31 here, you got 5.61 and 5.62, so definitely some consistent expansion, but really, really mangled up in the process. And then this one here from the G33 looks a little bit smaller to me. You got 5.52 and 5.38, so a little bit smaller, but not a whole lot, and really, really nice again from both of these. So there you go, y'all, the Sellier and Bellot 124 grain 357 SIG. I have to say, I'm very surprised at the performance out of these. I expected just pitifully low velocity, just based on everything else we've seen from them. I mean, they use those really unrealistic 6-inch test barrels. Now, in this case, they were using a 5-inch barrel, so that's probably kept it more realistic and kept it closer to what we actually see out here in real world circumstances. So very, very glad to see that. As far as the cost of these, I mean, again, these things are like 33 bucks a box, so you can definitely get cheaper. Believe it or not, these actually beat out those HSTs as far as performance, so that's very, very surprising. Again, just really overall surprising in general what I got from this test. All right, y'all, I have to admit, I was expecting to end today off on a pretty low note as far as performance, but this S&B stuff really surprised me this time. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this is definitely not a cream of the crop hot mama 357 SIG like most 357 SIG people probably won't, but this is not bad at all. I'm pretty sure we're over or right at 600, not over, but I think we're right at 600 foot-pounds out of the longer barrel with this S&B stuff, so that's not bad at all. Now, again, as far as the cost though, you're talking about 33 bucks a box. You can get that HST for a little bit less, and you know, it's a little bit, I mean, it's probably within like 10 foot-pounds of energy, so basically the same performance for a little bit less. But I absolutely have to give credit right here to S&B for this performance. Again, I think it's really good performance and far better than some of the other stuff that we've seen from them. But let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Those of y'all especially that do run 357 SIG, what do you think about the performance, the power levels and all from this right here? Do any of y'all out there actually run any of this? Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on that, and let me know if you'd like to see me go back and test a couple of the other rounds that I've already tested now that I've got the shorter barrel. If you enjoyed the video, take a second if you would and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, channel and make sure you've got those notifications turned on so hopefully you get notified when I upload stuff. Once again, a reminder to check out those affiliate links in the video description. All kinds of good stuff down there, and anything you pick up does help out the channel, so I really appreciate that. Big thanks again to all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all for supporting the channel the way y'all do. I've got plenty more really good stuff planned, so stay on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.